Now think about your business. How much can you do in your company if you were to work 24 hours a day? And what if you had to work 48 hours for the same amount, like during one day? How much more could your business do, right? How much more needle moving activities could it sustain? So when you delegate responsibilities to a virtual assistant, you're not just offloading work, you're multiplying your productive hours. And that is the beauty of delegation. In this episode, I want to discuss a very important topic that's gonna bring you more time. And this potentially could free up to 20 hours per week for you. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of the show Built with VAs with your host Valentina Brega. On this show, we discuss how to scale your business with the help of virtual assistants so that both you and the VA wins. And in this episode, I want to discuss a very important topic that's gonna bring you more time. And this potentially could free up to 20 hours per week for you. Okay, so let's get right into that. So first things first, here's a thought. Not everybody has 24 hours a day, contrary to what you've been told. Are you surprised by that? Well, let me explain. Look, if you're a solopreneur in your company, you do have 24 hours a day, okay? Because your business is limited to your time. You have 24 hours to dedicate. Well, you don't always put 24 hours in your business. That would be impossible. But just for the sake of this argument, let's say you have 24 hours to dedicate to your business. Now, when you bring another person into the mix, you have your time and that person's time. So the maximum you can have is 48 hours. Now think about your business. How much can you do in your company if you were to work 24 hours a day? And what if you had to work 48 hours for the same amount, like during one day? How much more could your business do, right? How much more needle moving activities could it sustain? And this is the beauty of virtual assistants, of outsourcing, of delegation. You can bring 3, 4, 5 people. It really is uncapped how much more work can be done during one day with the right people focusing on the right things. So when you delegate responsibilities to a virtual assistant, you're not just offloading work, you're multiplying your productive hours. And that is the beauty of delegation. So let's talk about a couple of things that virtual assistants can take off your plate immediately. That's probably taking a lot of your time. Okay, the number one thing is email management. If you're drowning in emails, you're not alone. A lot of entrepreneurs, they have hundreds, if not thousands of unread messages. They just keep coming and piling up, and there's no end to it. And sorting through emails, reading through them, organizing them, putting into folders, that's taking a big chunk of your time. In fact, there's the statistics of how many hours we're wasting per week, per month on just checking emails. And I think it's like a third of our working hours goes to emails. This is where a virtual assistant comes in because they can unsubscribe from unwanted emails, they can sort through emails, they can focus on really what is needed. They can organize it and they can actually make a folder that says for CEO or for your name, and then all the information that you really have to see will be put in that email. So instead of dealing with hundreds of emails that you don't need, you only go through those very important 10, 15 emails, however many they are, and make sure that they're not lost in the shuffle and nothing falls through the cracks, because a virtual assistant can do that for you. So that's a very important thing that a VA can help with. The second one is calendar management. Now for calendar management, you know that when you have to book people and you have to make sure they're not double booked, you have to set appointments, send invitations to everyone. And then what happens if someone cancels that invitation? You have to make arrangements again to accommodate everyone. There's so much work. It can really take a big part of your time, and it can actually be another full-time job for yourself if you have a lot going on. A virtual assistant can make sure you're not double booked. They can make sure you have blocked time for productive work, for deep work, and also for your personal stuff. So for example, right now I'm running this experiment for quite some time and I will continue doing this. But deep work, protecting your time is very important. What I do right now is I have every morning blocked. No one can book calls with me, but every morning from 9 o'clock in the morning until noon, until 12, I only work. This is my deep work. This is the time when my brain works the best and I can focus best on decision-making activities. So I can create courses for virtual assistants. I can put together, I can think of podcasts, like whatever it is that when I need to make a big decision, this is the time that I use. I'm protecting my time. In the afternoon, this is where I schedule my Zoom calls or meetings with my teams, because I feel the afternoon slump. I'm not as productive, so I can use this time better that way. To me, this has been revolutionary. And when I work with my virtual assistants, they already know to block my mornings, and it has helped me achieve a lot more. During this 1 month, we already created 3 courses for virtual assistants. And interestingly enough, the courses are on how to manage email, Google operators, how to conduct research, everything that virtual assistants need to serve you well. And it wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have this available time. So this is what a virtual assistant can do. They can protect your time. They can schedule personal events for you. They can schedule the important work. They can schedule meetings. They can schedule doctor appointments, anything you need to know. Communicate with your virtual assistant and they'll take care of that. All right. And the third thing a virtual assistant can take off a plate is social media. I know so many entrepreneurs who hate social media, but they understand the importance of it. I see them trying to post something on Facebook and they do very well for a while and they give up because they say, I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I can't be consistent with something I don't like. And it makes sense because your job, you know how important social media is, but your job is not posting on social media. This can actually be offloaded to a virtual assistant as well. Now, a VA can actually research your competitors, understand what people like, maybe put together ideas for you, tell you exactly what to film. They can also make graphs for you. They can edit videos. They can post for you on social medias. They can engage with people, answer comments, reach out to people. All of this is taking so much time, but luckily we have very talented virtual assistants around the world who love to do this. So if you hate social media, there's someone who loves it. I promise you this. I've seen it so many times. So why would you spend your time doing something that you don't like when you could be using that time doing something more productive? And let a virtual assistant handle your social media as well. Very, very productive, very common responsibility being delegated to a virtual assistant. The next thing a virtual assistant can do, the fourth thing, is research. I will give you a couple of things virtual assistants can do for you, but there's so many of them. In fact, now that I talk about this, I'm going to leave a link here below, 100 plus tasks a VA can do for you. You can go ahead, download this and see what is relevant for your business. And maybe you'll get some aha moments because you never thought that a virtual assistant can take care of that. So make sure to get it. It's absolutely free. Get it now. Okay, but let's talk about research, what a virtual assistant can do. Whether it's conducting market analysis or competitor research, or maybe some softwares you need to use for your business, a virtual assistant can do that for you because you know how time consuming this can be. Not only that, but you also get lost in the data. And a virtual assistant, they can spend the time looking for that information and present to you a readable, clear, concise report so you can make informed decision and not get lost in all of this information. In fact, we actually recently created a course for virtual assistants, for executive assistants on how to conduct research. And we include, everything about how to use search engine to the maximum capacity, how to use Google operators in the right way, advanced search. So they maximize their time and they give you only the results you need without being lost in all this information that is available on search engines. So it is so good, and how to present that readable report to you. What is the template they use and what bullet points do you include and what is the format? So because we want to maximize your time as well as the CEO, so you focus on growing your business and let the VA and let us help you along the process as well. So research is another thing that a virtual assistant can do. Next on the list is document and presentation preparation. Yes, virtual assistant can even put together presentations for you. There are so many AI tools that VAs can use to or leverage to give you better results. It's going to be faster, it's going to be better, and they can get it done and focus on other things for you as well. You can get a lot more done in a day than doing it by yourself or than by not leveraging AI tools. I use AI to create presentations even when I put together my slides for courses, for presentations on stages. I do use AI to enhance, maybe to make it more visually pleasing or to make it flow better and whatnot. And a virtual assistant can do that for you. You don't have to study this new niche. You don't have to know what tools are available out there because the VAs will know it. And if they don't, then we know it and we'll share that with the virtual assistants. Okay, but putting together presentations, drafting contracts, drafting papers for you, that can be done with a virtual assistant as well. So you don't have to spend time doing that. The next thing your virtual assistant can do is plan your traveling. That's right. Anything from itinerary, from booking flights, from booking accommodations, from booking local transportation while you're on the spot. Everything can be done by a virtual assistant, even if they're not in the same area as you. The VA can be completely on the other side of the world and they can still assist you with that. In fact, we have actually placed a lot of executive assistants who help business owners, have a better and easier life and focus more on their business. And one of the things that we train our virtual assistants with, which not a lot of people talk about, but this is has made such a big difference, and maybe you can train your VA on that as well, is when you organize a travel, don't just look at itinerary or just booking flights. Go the extra mile, which is do some research on the place that your CEO is going to, and then put together know what the weather is going to be like, and put together a packing list for your CEO, for your manager, right? And also look at what activities they can do for kids if they have kids, especially something that fits within their budget, whether there's some free activities or something that is relatively affordable, anything that would help your CEO and their family have the best experience. This is what we tell our virtual assistants when we train them for the role of executive assistants. And it's made a huge, huge difference. In fact, someone said that they organized a travel for their CEO and they were so surprised when they didn't just have the itinerary planned and local transportation, but also the packing list and what activities to do with the kids and the best restaurants and book reservations for the restaurants. All of that information can be taken care of by a virtual assistant as well. There's a lot more that VAs can do. I'm going to give you one more, but again, I just want to remind you that I do have this amazing free resource, 100 plus tasks a VA can do for you to give you more inspiration. But another big thing that I see people hiring virtual assistants for is expense tracking and basic bookkeeping. So a virtual assistant can take care of your expenses, can organize receipts, can put them together in a Google folder so you can easily find them. And if you need something, especially if you work with contractors or if you work with documents, they organize it in a way that's easy to access and you can always find that information. You don't have to be detail oriented. You don't have to be well organized. You just have to hire someone who is. And that is the mind of an entrepreneur. I know I'm not detail oriented at all as a person. I am a visionary. I'm a big thinker. Give me the big picture. Show me what you need to be done, but I would get lost in all these details. Luckily for me, I work with amazing virtual assistants who know my style, who know the way I am, and they are more organized and they love the attention to detail. So you don't have to change the way you are. You just have to find the person that's going to complement you the best. The idea is that when you're offloading tasks to a virtual assistant, you're not just delegating work. Again, you're protecting your time, you're getting more productive hours, and you save your mental sanity. How important that is. As entrepreneurs, we don't have work-life balance. That's very rare to find. We work around the clock. We never check out. We don't have weekends to spend with our family. It is a problem. We are always at work. So when you leverage someone, when you share this workload with someone else, you do get some of the time back. Now, the question is, what do you do with the time back? How do you spend it? Do you spend it, again, doing something bigger for your business? Do you spend it with your family? Well, that's up to you to decide. Our role here is to show you how you can get the time back with the help of virtual assistants. Like I mentioned in this episode, we do have trainings for executive assistants. We have courses. So if you have an amazing virtual assistant right now that just needs a little bit of a push, then I can leave it here and you can check it out if it's available. But if not, check out the free resources that we have. We have 100 plus tasks to delegate to a virtual assistant. And I'm also going to leave this here. Once you decided what to let go of your plate, how do you do it in the right way? I'm going to show you what to delegate first, second, third, and to whom, what kind of person you need, or maybe you already have the person on your team. So check the free resources. There's a ton of good value that I want to give this to you for free because I do believe in the power of working with virtual assistants. I have an amazing team myself. I have helped hundreds of companies achieve that, and I want to give you back all of these free resources. Just take them, implement them, and see the change happen. As always, thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next week.